What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode. Coach Joe here with Heartletics.com. In today's episode, we're going to be talking all about leadership. More specifically, though, how can we help you become a better leader? Now, I'm super amped up. I'm super inspired. I'm in a really good mood today because one of our clients, Michael Hoffman, he posted inside the community group this amazing video of him and his son, Zach, saying affirmations. Now, if you guys know anything about me, I love affirmations. Specifically, I love saying affirmations with my son. It's just one of those things that we do every single day, typically on our way to daycare before I drop him off, before I take him out of the car. I'm like, okay, Oakley, you ready to say your affirmations? And he's like, yep, let's do it. And we'll say like, I am strong, I am brave, I am courageous, I'm smart. And it's just, once again, getting into this little boy's subconscious mind to just getting him to be more confident, getting him thinking differently, but most importantly, having more of a positive mindset into him. And Michael Hoffman, if you happen to be listening to this one, brother, I absolutely love it. Jeremy Wade, one of our coaches, Coach Jeremy, he's another, living example of this. He's always posting videos of either him working out with his son or him and his son and his kids saying different affirmations in the mirror in the mornings. And I love that. And the reason why I love it so much is, once again, guys, it's up to us, fathers, to lead by example. Now, Mike Hoffman, he did not like saying affirmations in the beginning. Jeremy Wade, he did not like saying affirmations in the beginning. Nobody likes saying affirmations in the beginning. So if you're somebody that is like, let's say, uncomfortable, or it makes you kind of feel weird saying it, like, trust me, there's just different ways on how, and different techniques on how to do it where it's more comfortable for you. Our newest coach, Mike Berry. Mike Berry was one of our clients that in 7 weeks of coaching got off all of his blood pressure and cholesterol medications and reversed his type 2 diabetes in literally 7 weeks. He's officially a coach now, just got signed up yesterday. He just literally looks at himself in the mirror and says, hey, you know what? You got this. Let's go. And that's it. Says to himself first thing in the mirror, hey, you got this. You're strong. Let's go. Let's kick butt today. And that's it, Me, myself, I love saying things like, I'm in the process of becoming the best version of myself. I love myself for who I am and who I'm becoming. It's these daily reminders to yourself, and that's all an affirmation is. Think about it. If your wife gets a promotion at her job, I'm pretty sure you're going to say, congratulations, good job, I love you. If your kid comes home from school and they got an A on their test, you're going to say, hey, good job, I'm proud of you. But why is it that us as men, we have such the hardest time with congratulating ourselves and feeling happy for ourselves? And so that is the mission statement of Heartletics, is really helping men become leaders. Like, that's our motto. That is all we strive to do. And I'm wearing this hoodie nice and proud, but it says 1% better each and every day. Because that's all we're trying to do here. We're trying to help you become 1% better each and every single day. And so in today's podcast, I want to just inspire you. I want to help lead you guys to creating better leadership roles in your own household, for yourself, for your family, maybe your community, maybe your coworkers. But it's all going to start with you. Think about it like this too. Going to boot camp. You have a drill instructor there. He's teaching you how to shoot a gun. He's teaching you how to do hand-to-hand combat. He's teaching you survival mechanisms, right? It's these types of things where, when you're signing up for maybe the Army, the Marines, the Air Force, whatever the case may be, right? The Navy, you might not know how to do these certain things, but someone's teaching you, okay? It's a leader that is teaching you the skills, the knowledge on how to do the same thing. Think about it in school. You don't just, graduate from, let's say, middle school and then all of a sudden, like, hey, you're all in the workforce. Like, no, you have to continue going on through your course of education, continue going on through, high school. And then if you want to progress and go to a university or a college afterwards, like, that's entirely up to you. But regardless, these teachers are teaching you something, right? And maybe if you don't know, let's say, a particular skill set, there's tutors in place to help you get a little bit more personal care, personal tutoring on that particular subject. I mean, for me, I had the hardest time growing up in school with test anxiety and reading comprehension. I spent about like 2 to 3 years in Sylvan Learning Center, where I had to be another form of education, right? Where I had to learn to catch up to speed with all my friends. But once again, it's somebody was teaching me. Driving school, no different, right? It's not like you just finish your written exam, you get your temps, and then all of a sudden you're driving around the freeway. No, you have to have somebody, right, driver's ed instructor, teaching you how to drive the vehicle. And they're not taking you onto the freeway the very first day of you driving with them. They're typically taking you to an abandoned parking lot where you can learn the maneuvers of a vehicle. And then from there, you're on the suburbs, you're on the streets, right? You're getting more comfortable, you're getting more confident. So that way, the slower and slower you progress, it makes it so much easier. So when you do hit the freeway, you got this. Think about it like this too. It's like riding a bike. As soon as you get it down, you're on the freeway, and after a few months, you're feeling more comfortable, right? After a few years, you're feeling really good. And then now you can progress, half the time you're driving to work and you don't even know how you got there, right? You don't even know, you're just daydreaming the entire time. And that's how comfortable and confident that you got. That's our job at Heartletics, is to teach people how to become more comfortable, more confident, have to have the knowledge of knowing how to do things like become a better leader. And what does that apply, right? Well, one, that's obviously health and fitness, right? Because we want to make sure that when your body's getting in shape, you're building that sense of discipline, right? When you're showing up for your workouts, when you're, sticking with a meal plan that's having you, eat X amount of protein and sticking with your calorie range, it's requiring, right, that you are building up that sense of discipline. You're showing up each and every day. Now, granted, we all have our bad days. I definitely have my handful, and that's why the community group on the app is so useful because, hey, these guys know to support you, even on those, days of feeding the bad wolf. But regardless, it's getting you building up that sense of discipline. And then we progress, obviously, as you're getting used to the app, you're getting used to, the coaching, you're getting used to your meal plans, the workouts, the whole shebang, right? The whole 9 yards. We also want to start formulating, hey, how do we help you become a better leader? Mentally and emotionally as well. Why? Well, once again, that's our job at Heartletics, is to help you become a better leader. Because why? We want you to become a better leader for your family. We want you to lead better by example. And at the end of the day, affirmations, it's a great starting point, right? It's something definitely useful, but hear me out. Right? That's just one form of it. There's so many different things that you can do when it comes to become a better leader, but it first starts off with commitment, right? It first starts off with ownership. You have to prioritize your life. You have to. You can't expect a hand-me-out, right? You can't expect a lottery ticket or a magic fat loss pill that's going to just fix your blood pressure, your cholesterol, and fix you, reversing your dad bod and getting six-pack abs. It doesn't work like that. You have to develop habits. That's why we only focus on habits at Heartletics. 7 essential fat loss habits for success. This has been working for years. Literally changed thousands of people's lives. We don't use the word diets. We don't use, cutting out your favorite foods or hard, intense workouts that require you to live, 2 hours in the gym every single day. No. We work with everybody on a personal note to make sure that they're required, right, to follow through with something that's easily made for their own lifestyle, and they're building up those habits. So that way, eventually, they can do this all on their own. But here's the biggest issue, okay? And this is where this podcast is going to take a turn for the worst. Guys, they get in their own way. And I'm one to blame for sure, right? We all have these egos, and this is the bad wolf in all of us. Think about it, right? When you're in school, you're sitting down there, you're learning from a teacher. It's not like you're like, hey, I know a lot more than you, because you don't. When somebody is starting off driving school, right? You're not saying, hey, I know more than you. I know how to drive a car better than you. No, you're sitting there, you're learning, you're gaining that knowledge, right? You're absorbing it. It's almost like you're a sponge. You're open-minded. You go to boot camp, it's the same way with the drill instructor yelling at you and teaching you, how to become a soldier. You're not going to talk back and say, hey, I know what to do. I don't need to do this anymore. No, that right there, that is probably the reason why you're not seeing success in terms of your health, maybe in terms of your relationship, maybe in terms of your wealth, your finances, your career. It's the ego. And once again, I'm just preaching to the choir here because I fall through to this all the time. My ego is the one that has obviously the first year in business with Heartletics, I lost over $50,000 because I thought I knew how to run a business. The second year, lost over $30,000 because I thought I knew how to run a business. It wasn't until I invested my last $10,000 of savings into a business coach where he taught me how to actually run a business. Just because I'm a certified personal trainer and a certified nutritionist and certified strength and conditioning coach doesn't mean I know how to run a business. And I always like saying it like this: if you are the smartest person in the room, you got to find a new room, hands down. But the problem is that what happens is everybody, right, we're go through life where we're learning, we're acquiring knowledge, right? We're absorbing, we're open-minded. But then we get these egos. Typically when we're faced with, I don't know, adversity, like let's say we get a family and then it's like, okay, well, hey, we got to provide for that family. So I'm going to go out there, get a 9-to-5 job, right? I'm going to make sure that, I'm doing what I can do to provide for my family. But then all of a sudden, we put ourselves last. And we constantly, over and over and over again, think like, okay, hey, I know what to do. I know what to do. I know what to do. I've done this before, right? But reality is you don't really know what to do because you have this ego in the way, right? You stop being that sponge. You stop being open-minded. And that is going to be the number one thing that's always going to hold you back in life, in anything, is your ego. You thinking you know what to do. You thinking you know how to do it. And once again, this is me preaching to the choir here because this is me, right? I'm in a transition right now in my business where I'm looking for help because, hey, we have all these coaches, all these members, everybody's getting signed up, and I'm still on this mission here to change the world, right? Honestly, like I want to change the world and make it a better place. Why? Because, hey, I'm raising a 3-year-old child here. I want to make sure that he's growing up in a world where there's positivity, there's love, there's support, and it's not this dark world with so much negativity on how it is now. There's negativity everywhere. The news, there's nothing but killings and death, social media, like it's sick, right? So I want to make sure that I'm first leading by example so I can inspire others to do the same. And with me trying to change the world, hey, I realize here that in terms of using business, right? Heartletics as the business model, that vehicle of driving force to change the world, I'm going to need help. And so I'm in this transition right now where I'm looking for more resources. I'm looking for more help. I'm never going to be that guy that's going to say, oh, I know what to do because, hey, that only makes me go backwards. And I always say it like this, right? Time is the most precious commodity here on earth. You can always make back more money. You can literally sell anything on Facebook Marketplace, right? You can go out there and rake up some leaves and shovel some shovel some snow and cut some grass. Like there's plenty of ways to make money if you're determined enough. If you have the right mindset, if your heart really wants something, right? So when guys say like, "Oh, I don't have money to invest in my health," that's complete BS. That's just an excuse. That's the bad wolf that's still telling you, "Hey, we'll get started next Monday." And then next Monday comes, there's another excuse. And then, hey, we'll get started after holidays. Holidays come, that's another excuse, right? And you keep on making up these excuses as to why you can't do something because it's that ego. Guys, hear me out. You have to learn how to play the game of life. You have to, right? Half the time, guys get to these certain levels where maybe they're in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, where they decide to have a family, which is amazing, right? I have a family. I love them to death. But here's the thing. They put their family first before themselves. And that's going to sound completely selfish, but hear me out. Most guys, why is that 45% of the U.S. population is considered obese? Because most guys out there, they don't know how to lead. And you can't be that type of guy that is 40% body fat, high blood pressure, no energy. When you come home from when you come home from work and your kids come home from school, you're sitting around the couch watching Netflix, drinking a beer, complaining about how tired you are, and your kids are sitting on their, tablets or whatever, and you're yelling at them to go be active. But yet you're the one sitting on your butt. That's not going to work. Plain and simple. You have to learn how to put yourself first. You can't be that guy that's not eating your fruits and vegetables and yet you're yelling at your kids to eat their fruits and vegetables. No. Once again, you have to learn how to put yourself first. Leaders lead. It all starts with them. The guys I mentioned, right? Jeremy, Mike, like these guys out there that's saying affirmations with their kids. Remember, that wasn't exactly easy for them in the beginning. It's never easy, right? And I'm not saying just go out there and start saying affirmations. Like if you want to, hats off to you. But here's the reality, okay? Is that when you're doing anything in life, anything, you decide to start feeding the good wolf. Maybe that's saying affirmations. Maybe that's decide to start prioritizing your health because you should, and that's not selfish. Once again, that's self-love. If you love your family like how I love my family, that means, hey, I got to understand sacrifice. I got to understand, hey, I got to wake up earlier, have a better morning routine for my own mindset. I got to make sure that I'm grinding out in the gym, no ifs, ands, or buts, right? Because why? I got to show up for myself. I got to put myself first. One, I can't be a fat trainer telling people to lose weight. Like, that's an oxymoron. But second, right, if I'm this guy that is weak-minded, no confidence, I'm not brave, I'm not willing to step outside my comfort zone, how can I lead other people to do the same? How can a drill instructor, right, tell you how to fire a gun and teach you all the mechanics about hand-to-hand combat if they've never done that themselves? Like, this is just common sense. But once again, we all have these egos in place where it stops us from, preventing, right, honestly, of us becoming our fullest potential, of us really achieving our goals out there. We're always trying to look for ways to shortcut the system and cheat our way. Oh, well, instead of me, acquiring more knowledge and more skills to maybe get a better job, I'm just going to, live for the weekends and play the lottery and hope and pray I win one day. Like, no, that's not going to work out for you. It's like the same thing with the guys out there thinking, oh, well, hey, I'll just cut out my carbs, right? Lose some weight here and there. And then eventually when I reach my goals of losing X amount of weight, I'll just eat my carbs again. No, you're just going to regain the weight right back. It's called the yo-yo diet. You're going to lose weight, lose weight, gain weight. And it's going to be this yo-yo effect, the rebound, year after year. And the only thing that's going to change is your body fat percentage is going to continue to skyrocket, right? It's not going to be good. It's not going to be healthy at all. And maybe you're listening to this right now and you're like, holy cow, that's like me identical. Like, I've tried fasting, I've tried all this cardio, I've tried cutting out carbs, I've tried paleo, carnivore, all these different fad diets. And it's just the same old song and dance. You lose some weight in the beginning, right? And then you regain it right back. Why? Because anybody can do anything when life is easy. But it's when life throws you curveballs. And this is when you're fully tested, honestly. This is where most guys, they fall. They strike out. They go back to their old ways. I mentioned that 45% of the U.S. population is considered obese. Like, think about it. If you're raising a child, and if you and your spouse don't care about your own health, how can you expect your kid to care about their health? Actions speak louder than words. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I'm sure you heard that before. But most importantly, think long term. Right? Most guys out there think like, okay, hey, I'll get started next week. Oh, I'll get started, next month. Or, now's just not the right time. I got to get my finances in check first. Like, the reality is this, like, we have so much free information out there, especially at Heartletics, between the podcast, our free training, our free fat loss guide over at heartletics.com, everything like that. Like, you just need to make sure that you step up to the plate. You got to make sure that your actions speak louder than words. You can't just talk the talk. You got to learn how to walk the walk. The problem, though, is guys get so addicted to feeding the bad wolf over and over and over again and being a slave to that ego, being a slave to that bad wolf, where they're stuck. They're on that ball and chain, and they don't know how to get out. Because that ego is the one that's always going to be lying to you. Oh, I know what to do. I'm just going to do it, right? But now's not a good time. Oh, I know what to do, so I don't need to invest and spend any money. Like, no, like at the end of the day, like that ego is probably why you look the way that you do, and probably why your relationship is the way it is, and probably why your career and your finances is exactly where it is right now. It's your ego. But here's the thing, like how you defeat that ego. Like, one, you got to prioritize your life, right? You got to make a commitment to yourself. But mainly, you got to be open-minded. Once again, like you can't be that guy that's saying, oh, I know what to do. Yeah, right? I got this, right? It's not going to work out for you. Now, remember what I said, like life's always going to throw you curveballs? There's so much truth to that. So much truth to that, Like, in this journey of you becoming the best version of yourself, it's not supposed to be easy. And I think that's the biggest thing, because guys in today's society, if they want food, they can just go to their fridge, right? Or, hey, they can go in their nice little cars and drive to the grocery store or get some fast food, right? Like, everything's handed out to us. There's no hard work. There's no discipline because we got it right here. It's so convenient. We're sheltered, right? We don't have to be independent. We can be dependent upon other things out there. So we don't have that work ethic. We don't have that discipline, that determination, that perseverance built. So when times get tough, it's very easy for guys to strike out and go back to their old ways, right? They swing, they miss, they quit. They throw in the white towel, you know? But here's the thing, though. You got to understand. It's supposed to be hard, you know? Two great examples right here that I absolutely love, you know, is when guys literally raise their standards. When guys put their foot down, they say, enough's enough. I'm doing this regardless. Guys like Dave Webster, right? Currently going through a really hard situation right now. I'm not going to get into specifics about that, but dives right in, right? He's like, oh, okay, hey, we got month-to-month options. We got this option. We got this bundle. Sign me up for all coaching phases, Joe, because I need this. I need a life-changing transformation. They dive in head first, right? They rip off the Band-Aid. They know it's going to be tough, but at the end of the day, they don't want to do this on their own anymore. They don't want to continue to struggle anymore. And it doesn't have to be that way, right? When you have the right guys in your corner, when you decide to raise your standards and you have people that support you on this mission, guys like Brian, right? He had to recently tell one of his best friends that he had for years, like, hey, bro, enough's enough, man. Like, I can't be just kicking it with you and hanging out with you. Like, you got all this negative energy, right? You talk about all this negativity. I just got to put my foot down. I got to raise my standards. You know, now Brian's that type that's spending more time with his family, spending more time with his kids, leading better by example, eating healthy, working out, reading more books, working on his mindset. A whole different person. A whole different person. My best friend Nick's the same way, right? He stopped hanging out with the people that he was hanging out before because they were holding him back. And like, it's not exactly supposed to be easy to have a conversation with somebody about that or to raise your standards. But here's the thing. When you surround yourself with guys that truly care about you, right? We have this amazing community group, right? We call it the Wolf Pack. These guys care about everybody there. These guys don't want anybody to fail. And these guys are also those type of people that they're going to put their foot down. They're going to raise their own standards and they're going to help lead, right, the other guys to get on path, to get on par, to get rise up, right, to level up just along with them because they love them. They care for them. And I'm sure you love your kids. I'm sure you love your spouse. I'm sure you love your family, right, your friends. So sometimes loving your family means like, hey, you gotta put yourself first. You got to do what's hard because it's necessary. You know, think about it. It's just like building a muscle, right? Doing some bicep curls. You're breaking down the muscle. But the more reps you do and over again, it becomes a lot easier. Your first time ever working out, hey, it's tough. It's hard. You feel sore the next day. But then after that, you continue to progress, continue with it. It's a lot easier. You get more comfortable, you know? And like, here's once again, the reason why I firmly believe that like you become the sum of the 5 people that you hang around yourself with the most. Ask yourself this. Who are the 5 people that you hang around with the most? Do you look just like them? Do you guys have the same finances? Do you guys have the same mindset? Do you guys, what are you guys even talking about? Are you guys talking about leveling up and progressing? Or are you just talking about, trying to, once again, get that lottery ticket? And just living for the weekends and talking about nothing but sports and your favorite teams and drinking some beers, and nobody cares about personal development. And I'm not trying to be that guy that's just like dogging your friends or anything like that, but at the end of the day, if you're on a mission like how I'm on a mission to make the world a better place so that way your kids can grow up in a more positive, healthy environment, sometimes it means that you got to raise your standards. Sometimes it means that, you got to put your foot down. And once again, it's going to be hard. I got plenty of haters out there. Trust me. Don't ever run Facebook ads, right, in today's society. That's all I got to say. There's some mean people out there, but at the end of the day, it just means that I'm on the right path. And I heard this quote, and I put it on my Facebook page today, and I absolutely love it. You will never be criticized or judged by someone that's doing more than you. Plain and simple. Us as coaches at Heartletics, all the other members, whenever somebody's brand new that comes in the community group and they're asking questions, you think we're ever going to just dog them and say, oh, that's a stupid question? Like, no. Like, we're there to support them. We're there to help them out every step of the way. We're a wolf pack. We're united. We're strong together. And we want to help that individual get all the knowledge that they can immediately so they can start seeing better results. Because who knows? that type of individual, they might have so much success and level up, they can also help us and rise up to the occasion. It's your network, right? It's that these people, they want nothing but the best for you. And you need to ask yourself this: who in your life wants nothing but the best for you? And then the real question is, go in the mirror and be real with you and be real with your ego. Do you actually want the best for you? Because if you do, realistically here, you're going to learn how to go above and beyond. You're going to learn how to find a way and make a way to change your life and make it better. But you got to be determined, right? You got to have discipline. You got to be committed. And the reason why I love Heartletics so much, it's not because of the personalized meal plans. It's not because of the personalized workouts, the personalized check-ins, or anything like that. Not even the 24/7 support. The reason why I love Heartletics so much is because of the community groups. Hands down. It's the wolf pack. I mean, put it to you like this, right? Two really easy analogies to help you understand. I'm pretty sure nobody wants to go to war by themselves. You and a pistol, right, against all these tanks around this, big army, you're going to lose that battle every single time. So why is that you're trying to focus on you achieving your health and fitness goals, you achieving a better mindset all by yourself? Once again, that's that ego that's stopping you from achieving results. And realistically, it's probably been like that for years, where you try doing different things on your own. There's no support, there's no community, and you end up failing and going back to your old ways over and over and over again. And Albert Einstein said it best: the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. Another great analogy is like playing, let's just put together, right, baseball and Heartletics. Let's coordinate the two before we wrap things up here. So, one, a good coach, right, a good team, right, let's just say you've been playing baseball your whole life, right? T-ball, and then in middle school, and then high school, and then, hey, you go to college, and now you're in the major leagues, right? A good coach is not going to just instantly, let's say you show up on that new team for practice, right? They're not going to say during baseball practice, hey, let's go to the basketball courts, let's work on our free throws. Hey, let's go to, soccer field and work on some fundamentals on how to kick a ball, right? Hey, let's hop in a pool and learn how to swim. Like, no. They're going to say, okay, hey, what position have you been playing? Okay, hey, you're a pitcher. Awesome. Let's see how you throw the ball. Okay, cool. Here's some tweaks. Maybe hold the ball differently. Sit back a little bit more, right? Instead of flare out your elbow, right? Like tuck it back. Like, it's small little tweaks. That's why we don't believe in, cookie cutter workouts, cookie cutter meal plans, anything that's one size fits all. Like the meal plans, and when somebody signs up for Heartletics, they got to fill out a personalized meal plan for them. Why? So Coach Katrina can make those small little tweaks. Okay, hey, so this person likes chocolate, this person likes alcohol, this person likes, fast food because it's convenient for them, and here's the restaurants that they go to for lunch. Awesome. Here's what they should order from there. Here's like the chocolate that we can fit in. Here's how to fit in the alcohol so that way it's convenient. They're still able to hit their calories, still able to hit their protein goal, and burn body fat. Small little tweaks. Same thing with the workouts, right? Hey, is this individual working out at home or at the gym? Do they have past and current injuries? How many days a week? What works best for them? Time frame? Like all this stuff. Small little tweaks. Because why? Like, we want to make you the best player for you, for your team, our team we should say, and also your family, right? Because they're in the stands right there watching you throw that game-winning pitch, right? They want you to succeed. And hey, at the end of the day, you got to lead by example. So that way you can learn how to do all this on your own. Once again, somebody can give you a fish and feed you for a day, or someone can teach you how to fish, right? And feed you for the rest of your life. That's what Heartletics is. And once again, like, we want to be able to teach you this knowledge so that way you can teach it to your kids. You can teach it to your family. You can teach it to your coworkers, to your community. And you don't have to be a slave anymore to your ego and suffer anymore with your own health and fitness goals, because it's truly not hard at all. But what's hard is that guys, they don't have a team, right? So they show up to bat, all of a sudden life throws them some adversity. Let's just say it's just a random picture that goes in, and hey, you're on this team with no coaches, no teammates, and it's just you against everybody, and plus this random picture they just threw in that you don't know anything about, aka curveballs of life, adversity. And that's typically where guys strike out. And then what happens is, the next day, they go back to their old ways. They quit. They throw in the white towel because they don't have any support. They don't have guys in their corner that's, picking them right back up when they fall. Guys in their corner that's, cheering them up and supporting them and saying, hey, let's just get back to practice the next day. We got this. At the end of the day, Heartletics wants you to hit that, game-winning home run. That's it. We want you to hit that grand slam of life. We want you to succeed and win the World Series, and we're here to support you every step of the way. It's just, once again, are you willing to break the ball and chain of that ego that's constantly feeding you these lies of, hey, I'll get started next week. Hey, I know how to do this all on my own. Hey, I've tried cutting out carbs and fasting and all this cardio, and it worked for me before in the past. I just wasn't disciplined enough to stick with it. No. The reality is this, right? Someone needs to give you the knowledge. Someone needs to teach you. But most importantly, someone needs to be there in your corner that's going to push you outside your comfort zone, help you level up, and be there to support you. And when you surround yourself with a bunch of like-minded guys that are no different, that's on the same path of greatness that you're trying to get to, achieving your goals is the easiest thing in the world, hands down. And that's why we always say this: Heartletics is a life-changing transformation. And if you want to be a part of it, hey, go to heartletics.com, apply for a free call, see if it's a good fit for you. But regardless, whether that's, be your end option or not, we have a free fat loss guide there. We have a free training there. You don't need to continue going to YouTube and Google searching this and this over-analysis paralysis of should I do this or should I do this and yada, yada, yada. It's just going to confuse you. We focus on 7 essential fat loss habits, and that's it. And once you master that, you will become the master of your own body. Plain and simple. It's very easy. But the hard part is becoming the master of your mind and learning how to not become a slave to that ego anymore. And that means you need to have a community. You need to have an army behind you that's going to help you every single day feed the good wolf. So that way, once again, you can put an end to feeding the bad wolf. So guys, I really hope that you guys got some value from today's episode. If you did, do me a favor. Go share this with a friend. Go share this with a loved one. Maybe share it on your social media page and really think about it. Once again, it does not have to be hard to get the results you're looking for. The problem is just that your ego's in the way. You got to learn how to raise your standards. You got to learn how to put your foot down and say enough's enough. I need to do this because, hey, why? We are on this mission to help you become a better leader for your family, for your coworkers, for your friends, but most importantly for yourself, because you owe it. You only got one life to live. And at the end of the day, let's just make the most out of it. As always, guys, this has been Coach Joe with the Heartletics Podcast, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace out, Girl Scouts.